Hi, my name is Alexis Cromell.
All you had to do was listen to know that 19-year-old Alexis Blair Cromell has something special.
I'm the greatest prima donna in Milan.
Musical theater was her passion.
I want to be like those people on Broadway.
Alexis had just been accepted into the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York City.
I'm very proud of her, very grateful that she was my daughter, and I love her so much. She knew that.
Her mother, Sarah Harrington Riche, and soon-to-be stepfather, John Cherry, would give anything to hear her voice one more time. That voice was silenced October 20th, just before 7 a.m. at Highways 90 and 182 in Raceland.
488 Charlie Oscar Delta.
This is Dash and body camera video from the horrific crash that happened that morning.
I gave her a hug and a kiss, and she kissed her brother. She told us bye, and that was it. That was my last conversation.
Alexis was driving to Delgado in New Orleans, where she was taking classes.
This guy's the driver?
State police say for reasons still under investigation, she failed to yield to approaching traffic, entered the intersection, and was struck by a Mack truck, whose driver was overcome with emotion.
Alexis will never come back home to Sarah and her brothers, or to me. But because of her, someone else might be able to go home to their parents and their brothers and sisters. And I want that to be her legacy.
While there's heartbreak, there's also anger from others about this intersection. 4 people were killed here on Thanksgiving last year. Back then, State Representative Brian Fontenot wrote a letter to the state DOTD asking for safety improvements.
We're here 11 months later. 5 people have died at this intersection 11 months later, and the Department of Transportation has done 0.
In addition, both Lafourche and St. Charles Parish Councils have asked the state to improve safety here and add a traffic light, with St. Charles Councilwoman Holly Fonseca writing about the 2-vehicle crash that killed 4 people last year. She wrote, "My niece Michelle Moore and her husband Dustin Moore were tragically killed when their vehicle flipped several times after crashing into another vehicle whose driver failed to yield at the intersection. They were on their way home following Thanksgiving dinner. Their 7-year-old son survived the crash, but has lost both his parents." She wrote, "Please act now so that no other lives are lost."
We were looking at the intersection, and in order for us to truly evaluate the intersection, we needed all of the data.
Boyle says a J-turn is now planned for the intersection,
which will restrict motorists coming out of LA 182 from turning left at this location. They will be required to turn right on Highway 90. They'll be able to perform a U-turning maneuver, and they'll be able to continue back US 90 East.
DOTD hopes to take bids on the project by early next year.
What would be your response to someone who questions why is it taking so long to take action after 5 people have died?
We've been working on this intersection since the start of this year, and these type of decisions they take time.
While a solution is still in the works, Alexis's family prays that her story
I'm a young Egyptian princess.
can help save a life.
Who would listen to us? Who would hear us? I mean, they're going to hear our cries and our pleas, but it's you taking it to the next level, and maybe the state will hear that. Maybe the people in charge of that intersection of the road, the DOT, maybe they'll see it and they'll hear our voice.